Well, Nikora Lee-Kingi, three-time King in the Ring championship, potentially on the line for you this weekend. You know, not many people have actually got that mark. I think Israel Adesanya is probably the only one. For yourself, has that driven you this fight camp in any differently than you would have approached it otherwise?
I haven't really thought too much about becoming the three-time king. As what drives me is just wanting to do well for myself, becoming a better fighter, and doing well for my family.
You won those first two fighting out of South Island Liga. What brought you up here? Here being Auckland, for those watching and not really sure where we are.
Yeah, I just felt like something needed to change for me to reach new levels, and just to mix it up with kind of higher level training partners as well. I feel like I learn a lot from being on the mats with these top level guys, being challenged on the daily.
Those first two King in the Rings, what were your expectations going into them? Like, did you know sort of what the process was going to be like? 3 fights one night, like how
for the first two?
Yeah, for the first two, like.
Oh.
Well, I guess for the first one, like.
I
did you get accustomed to it?
I did one before the first two, so I kind of had a rough idea. Back in 2016, I had 7 fights. I was the South Island rep, and that kind of got me a glimpse as to what was to come in the next couple of King in the Rings for me. So I kind of had an idea.
How have you found it on that stage? Obviously, yeah, you're taking like a bit of a duck to water on it, 2-time champion, and I saw both of those, and they were pretty impressive showings.
They were alright. I feel like this time will be a lot different to those times. I feel like I've made a few like mental and kind of personal, what's the word I'm looking for? Adjustments. And I just feel like a completely different fighter now. So I'm just looking forward to showcase my new skill set and mindset and everything.
For people who might not have seen you fight, how would you, I guess, describe your style?
It's been a tricky one, but I was speaking to my old man about this the other week, and I feel like I'm quite an aggressive counter fighter. But I also like to. I'm not afraid to try some things while I'm in there. Like when I'm having fun, I feel like I'm most dangerous and creative.
Interesting one for you in that last one, the final being against your teammate. There's every chance you might fight another teammate this time around with Corey Dunn added to the 8-man rather than being the reserve fighter. How was that for you as a fighter, having to go in against your teammate? Like, how do you approach that fight?
The last 2 King in the Rings I won, I had to fight my friend and my brother in the final, so that was pretty crazy. And I was like super close with Dom leading into those ones, so I feel like I have like the right tools to do it again. But I also have another like friend and brother from South Island Liga in it, so I have two friends in it this time, and I'm just hoping I don't have to fight them both, because that would be hard work. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, we're all signing up for the same thing, and we're just gonna get in there and do our best.
What do you make of this field? Obviously, you've seen the lightweights a couple times now. How does this one stack up to those last couple?
I feel like these guys are the new generation. They might have a bit of I feel like they might have some points to prove potentially, but I'm pretty comfortable and confident in myself that I can retain the crown.
In terms of what you're expecting on the night, anything different?
Only thing that'll be different will be my just how I approach each fight. I have a few ideas of what I would like to do in these fights, so yeah, I'm just excited to get in there and do my thing.
Who's going to be in your corner, I imagine it, and have you had a City Kickboxing corner before?
I've had a City Kickboxing corner before. I think Doug and Eugene should be there for this one. Which is awesome, because yeah, I feel pretty safe with those guys in my corner.
Did it take any sort of adjusting when you did come up to City Kickboxing, just in terms of how different corners operate to what you're used to? Like, can you tell us a little bit about maybe some of the changes there that people like myself who don't fight like might be able to understand rather than the little nuances?
I feel like training with these new coaches, I've created I don't know, enough of a bond to trust, and I know that they know what they're like. I trust their eyes and things, so I just put all my trust into what they tell me, and just do my best and try and keep my ears open, listen to what they tell me, and I just feel comfortable with Doug and Yuji in my corner.
You mentioned the next generation coming through. I mean, yourself, you're still very young. When we look at guys like, we'll say Joseph Parker, Israel Adesanya, Dan Hooker, all those kind of guys who are sort of in their early 30s now, sort of looking toward the back end of the career, how important is shows like King in the Ring for the next generation to show themselves and I guess put themselves in position to follow those guys' lead on the world stage?
What was the start of that question again? Sorry.
When you look at talking about like the next generation, we've had a few guys go on to do big things on various stages in combat sports. Like, how important is a show like King in the Ring for the next generation to, I guess, start to get to that level themselves?
I feel like it's pretty good. Like the blueprints there. You've kind of seen what is to come if you like really want to pursue that sort of path. You've kind of like seen it, so you know it's possible. And I just feel like if you really want it, then you can go out and get it.
Where do you see yourself going in the sport?
I'd like to hopefully this year get my MMA debut out of the way, and then start making a run in the MMA world, and then move up, take that UFC belt, of course.
We see a lot of people sort of transitioning to MMA. Is that just what everyone wants to do, or is it, I guess, the best pathway to, I guess, making a career?
I feel like MMA goes a bit further than kickboxing. Kickboxing's not as big as MMA for some reason, and I feel like MMA's just got more of a promotion going, or something like that.
More eyes on it, right?
Yeah. It's just there's not much kickboxing. You don't really see any kickboxing on any sort of sports channels or anything. If you like kickboxing, you have to kind of go find it. But MMA is kind of like everywhere.
I guess I'm just going to bring it up again. Potential history on the line. Like, what would it mean to you to lift that belt come Saturday night?
It would just mean solidifying myself as the top dog in the 62 kilo weight category. Pretty much. Yeah.
So now I'll leave it there.